Tēnā tātou katoa, good evening. A potentially momentous decision is tonight weighing on the 30 countries that are members of NATO. How to respond to a missile strike that killed 2 people in a Polish town near the Ukrainian border.
That's because Poland is one of the 30 NATO countries that have pledged to defend one another. But even President Joe Biden is saying it's unlikely to have been fired from within Russia. Europe correspondent Lisette Raymer reports.
In the theatre of war, a missile killing 2 people is tragically mundane. But this attack has the power to change this war and the world. This rocket is the first of this war to hit a NATO country.
Przede wszystkim chcę wszystkich zapewnić.
Remain calm, the Polish president urged his people. There are no indications there will be a repeat. But any panic is understandable. Russia has denied any involvement in the attack, describing it as a deliberate provocation. But the cautious words of world leaders spell out the gravity of this moment.
Mr. President, is it too early to say whether this missile was fired from Russia?
There is preliminary information that contests that. I don't want to say that till we completely investigate, but it's unlikely.
We've been crystal clear that we will defend every inch of NATO territory.
Regardless of whether deliberate, regardless of whether a miscalculation, ultimately we come back to the fact that this is an illegal war that must end.
Last triggered by 9/11, NATO could invoke Article 5. That is, an attack on one is an attack on all. It looks more likely it will turn to Article 4, consultation.
I do think this will lead to more support for Ukraine and increased willingness to perhaps provide Ukraine with certain weaponry that the West has not yet provided.
But first, the alliance must determine if this was a deliberate attack. Russia unleashed a torrent of attacks across Ukraine today, targeting energy infrastructure and leaving 7 million people without electricity. Prevodov is less than 10 kilometres from Ukraine, making it highly possible this was a rogue Russian missile, an accidental hit. It's also feasible it was the work of a Ukrainian air defence system, landing haphazardly after intercepting an incoming rocket.
Wdrożono procedury, które są przewidziane w takiej sytuacji.
Poland has already taken some steps to protect itself, ordering an urgent increase in readiness of its military units. But President Zelensky has called for more urgent, wider action. Terror is not confined to our state borders, he said. This is a significant escalation. Daylight will help reveal the motive and the onus, but nightfall has brought more uncertainty than sleep for Ukraine and its neighbours. In London, Lisette Raymer, Newshub.